let's say I just got done running some hill sprints in Okinawa. Come down from the mountainside there, head to the beach, get those dragon fruit things that have been soaked in sake, start eating those, head into the beach bar right there, and say sake, 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 sake all around. They bring it out, and things are going well. Then all of a sudden, the shit hits a fan. The big kahuna walks in, locks the door, and there's no way out. Who do I want by my side? One of my first choices would be Andrew Sullivan, although he wouldn't be there, because this man lives the lifestyle of a monk. Fred Hatfield and I probably did 25, 30 seminars from 2015 to when he finally went to the other side in 2017. During that time, a lot of times people would say, what does it take to be the best? What's the difference between really strong lifters, and not so strong lifters? So Fred had two answers. The first one was compensatory acceleration training. You have to put maximum force into the bar every single rep, every single set, or you're leaving a ton of gains on the table. Okay? That was the first one. The second one is not so much talked about people, but I think a lot of it's because people don't want to make the sacrifice, is lifestyle. Fred would say you have to be like an iron monk. Like live and breathe this. Everything revolves around that. So that's easier said than done, but one of the people I've actually seen do this is Andrew Sullivan. Andrew is 22 years old. You take the analogy of the ham and egg breakfast. Most people are just, in powerlifting, are laying an egg to be part of that breakfast. They're, giving something up to be part of it, but they're not giving up their life. Then you have the ham. The pig literally lays down its life to be a ham on your plate in that breakfast. Andrew Sullivan is that ham. He's 22 years old and will be setting some junior world records in powerlifting. His meet is September 18th. It's somewhere in Tennessee. It's run by Westside Barbell, and they'll be giving away money, let me rephrase that. Ain't nobody giving away nothing. There is prize money that can be earned if you train your ass off and you show up meet day. Okay, no one's going to outwork Andrew Sullivan, and no one's going to, revolve their life and be smarter than Andrew Sullivan. If someone's better that day, it's because they're better, and we'll go back to the drawing board. And it's interesting is I have the privilege of working with some of the most committed athletes in the world. You look at like the Operation Tactical Hypertrophy series with, Tom Havlin. And, that's people I'm working. Every once in a while you get somebody like one time, not too long ago, the guy was saying he wasn't in the military, but he said he went to the Special Forces camp or something and wanted to expedite the fat loss. I said, okay, any deviations on the diet this week? No, not really. I've just been, drinking wine and eating croissants on weekends, So that is not Andrew Sullivan. Like I said, at that Okinawa dive bar situation, Andrew Sullivan would not be at the bar, but if he was there, that's who I'd want on my side, if that makes sense. 50% of the game's half mental. All right, sorry. All right, anyways, back to Andrew. So Andrew's training at Big Tech's gym in Austin, Texas. It's a great gym. It's they've been some huge supporters of bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman. They definitely put their money where their mouth is. They're doing cash meets. Even when people haven't showed up, like in the numbers they were expecting, they still did a full payout. And then besides being really honest, nice people, they got a really cool gym. The gym is an amazing gym. It's very well equipped and has a very good atmosphere in there. So he's training at Big Tech's gym. It's in Round Rock or North Austin, somewhere right there. Highly recommend the gym. Andrew started off as powerlifting and super training gym, Mark Bell's gym out in Sacramento, California. And eventually, not only was he training there, he became an employee and actually started running the gym. He was kind of the point man at super training. Everybody was very sorry to see Andrew go. So leading up to the meet, we're going to document Andrew's training week by week so you can see what he's doing. And some of the stuff's going to be revolutionary to some of you. Some of it's not going to be revolutionary. So if you want to follow along and kind of copy the program, here's what I'd recommend. Andrew had a very good off season. It was about an 8-week off season, and it's just like that Jailhouse Strong 8x8 program. So that would be if you're not getting coached by me directly. That's why I'd recommend you go, because here's the deal: With the powerlifting and setting it by peak for a meet, it's called phase potentiation. You're basically potentiating that future phase. You're setting it up, if you will. And that book sets you up perfectly. So I will link that book. It's only it's only $8.49. I'll put a link to it at the bottom of the book from Amazon, and that's what I'd recommend to follow. So with Andrew, we're going to take primarily, as you will see, week by week, a linear periodization type of approach. However, it's not just straight, go up 10 pounds a week, for 12 weeks, and all of a sudden you show up at the meet. You will see systematic overloads and things like that because it's like taking a good thing and making it better. So that type of approach not only physically works when you potentiated that phase correctly, it also is really good for somebody mentally dialed in. So if it's a mental lifter in a good way, someone that like thrives off setting up their lifestyle numbers, linear periodization is absolutely beautiful for that type of lifter because they know what they have to hit and they're going to hit it, just bar none. Like, Ed Cohn would go training cycle after training cycle after training cycle after, and never miss a lift. So that's what we're trying to do, is take the best of what we learned from the smartest, greatest lifters like Ed Cohn and like kind of spruce it up with some newer concepts of like the overloads and things like that. So you'll see, for example, like slingshot bench presses, reverse band squats, static holds. And, it's going to be amazing what you see because Andrew, and another thing about Andrew is we're really working on this training cycle also. So the last training cycle put about 150 pounds on his total. This one, the goal is on a really good, 8 for 9, 9 for 9 type of day, Andrew will be at 2,200. On a 5 for 9, 6 for 9 type of day, he'll be at 2,100. That's where he needs to be, and that's where he will be. So that's what we're shooting for right there. 22 years old, going to set some junior world records. Very, very, very exciting stuff right there. So I'm going to also, in regards to this whole series, I'm going to have Andrew also post. Very nice guy here. So if you have any questions and stuff you want to directly ask to Andrew, he will be in the comments here. So just say, hey, Andrew, and then, he'll see this and he can answer those questions. So we're going to look at the overload techniques. We're going to look at week by week progression of the core lift, because you got to remember the approach I'm taking with Andrew is not going to be like, high frequency squat every day, like some kind of like crazy like specificity. But at the same time, this is powerlifting. The big three are skill. They're not the, there's smart lifts and dumb lifts. They're not like a level of like, an Olympic lift or something would need to be done every day. But, he's going to compete in those lifts. So he's going to practice those lifts, as you'll see. So you're going to see how we're taking the best of all these different systems and putting it together, and it's specifically honed for Andrew so he can peak for the meet. So you can either, watch this as we go along, enjoy it as a fan, and just enjoy the process. Enjoy it, as a student to learn something. As, hey man, I just want to try this myself. Try it yourself. Any of those, or a combination of any of those three. So we really appreciate you guys watching this, and we really appreciate you being part of the journey. And here's to Andrew hitting 2,200. Very proud of you, brother. Let's do this.